the best way for me to figure out what I want to do is just make myself so truly uncomfortable that like I have to figure it out, right?
If you're looking for business mentorship, I have a place where you can get feedback on your unique personal development and business growth challenges. Over the last year, I brought together a group of impact-driven thought leaders where we meet every single day to discuss psychology, communication, mindset, and business case studies. We have people who have made millions of dollars, lost millions of dollars, Harvard MBAs, and new entrepreneurs like you and I. Entrepreneurship can be lonely, so if you're looking for a support system, please follow the link in the description below for some more information.
So what's your business? Sam was kind of telling me a little bit about it, but
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy chain of events to get to kind of what I'm doing now. I guess my business specifically is basically project management for local real estate investors, developers, flippers, new build, all that type of stuff. It kind of started, do you want me to get into the whole timeline here?
for sure.
I assume we're filming.
Yeah, we've been going.
Okay.
Yeah, we just randomly popped
Word.
on.
So yeah, kind of the story was out of college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, graduated during COVID, graduated from CFC with a major in historic preservation, community planning, kind of did that major because always knew I wanted to be in real estate, always wanted to be in home building, real estate, whatever it is. I had a couple internships in high school that had to do with commercial real estate. So I always knew I wanted to get into it. So I did that major during college, also because CFC is like ripe with historic stuff. So like all of our classes were out on the streets. We would walk to historic homes, do reports on the home, and it was very interactive, which I'll come back to. Like more hands-on. You weren't always in a classroom doing exams, essays, all that type of stuff. It was more interactive, out in the field, seeing stuff, hands-on stuff. But then graduated college in 20 from CFC during COVID. World was pretty much shut down, didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad back home in Connecticut had a IT consulting business that he had since the 90s. Had a massive book of business up there. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Social media was super popular. Really took off during COVID as well. So basically with him, through social media, I started to do social media marketing, management, all that type of stuff for a bunch of his clients. So that's kind of where I started my professional career, was social media marketing for different businesses, whether it was real estate, luxury travel, food, whatever it is. Did that for about a year or two. Then my dad got super sick. And then, so he started to scale down his business. I continued working with his clients. And then right around when he passed, I was like, okay, like he's obviously, his business is shut down. I'm starting to not love social media for other people, kind of got tired again. Back to what I was saying before is like, inside behind a computer on my phone, doing marketing material, building websites, all that type of stuff. Got tired of that. But then I got a really, really cool opportunity to become the marketing director for a PE fund in New York. So found them kind of organically, talked to them. I was like, hey, I have this business, been trying to scale it down, have this opportunity to kind of like zero in on one business and one area of business. And I'm like, okay, cool. If the numbers work, whatever, went back and forth and they worked. So I left all my social media marketing stuff that I was doing on my own, joined this company as a marketing director, worked with them for about 2 years. And again, got that same burnout of 2 years behind a computer, building websites, social media, marketing, the full scale. I did some IT stuff for them too. Just got tired of it. So literally one day, almost actually now 2 years ago, in July, at the end of July, I left that company and was kind of like, the best way for me to figure out what I want to do is just make myself so truly uncomfortable that like I have to figure it out, right?
Right.
Like I can't not find what I love or find something to do because like I'm going to put myself in such a situation where like the only answer is what I want to do. So luckily with, obviously with support of family, friends, obviously had a great prior work. So had a nice cushion where for about 6 months I did no work. So no odd end jobs, no income. I pretty much just took up running for basically, yeah, literally for 6 months. I never ran. I mean, I have always like been active and whatever, but have never been like put on running shoes and go out and run miles.
Yeah.
So in July, I started running and I ran, a mile a day for a week. And the next week, 2 miles. And I basically scaled up to basically I'd run almost 6 to 10 miles every single day.
So,
Started to train for the Charleston half, which ended up getting snowed out. But so pretty much just focus all my energy on something positive, like running, being healthy, focusing on myself, my mental health, physical health. And I honestly attribute a lot to where I am now because of that. I think it kind of showed me that like set your goal on something and you'll achieve that goal. Kind of like don't give yourself any other option but to achieve that goal. So I kind of did that through running. Pretty much ran and trained up until I was pretty much running double digits every single day. So was training for the half, ended up getting snowed out. And then now I just like run every day. So good for my mental health. If I ever have like a long work day, whatever it is, put on my shoes, go out and run. And I feel 10 times better when I come back. So was running, while I didn't have a job. And then I was like, always want to get back to real estate. So that kind of regained my, my love for it. So I started to join a bunch of local real estate Facebook investor groups. So that's kind of was my first step, right? And I tell my fiance who has her own business is like every single day while you're figuring stuff out is do one thing, whether it's write in a journal something that you want to do or do something big, like set up a meeting with somebody that you want to talk to, like big or small, just every single day, do one thing that will push you in like the direction that you want to go or do what you want to do. So every day, I joined the Facebook group. I would interact in that group. I have no experience, by the way. So communicating with people, trying to network. I'm a very, very introverted person. Like I don't like to like I have my group of friends.
I would not have guessed that.
Yeah. But this is crazy. Like I think from what I'm doing now is I've become so much more open to network and talk because like networking has put me in the position I am today.
Yeah.
Like I think with any business or whatever you want to do, like without a network and without putting yourself out there, telling people what you want to do, like the way we're here today, like if I didn't know Sam or, all the, the way your network works, it puts you in these positions to talk about your business and what you do, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. So back to networking, the Facebook groups.
Smart place to start.
Yes. So social media, it's huge. Facebook groups, and there's this local investor here who, if anybody here is in the investor development flipping game, whatever you want to call it here, Hayden Albert. Hayden Albert is a young guy or early 30s, and he's probably one of, if not the biggest house flipper, land development, new build guys in the area. And he is always networking. And he comments, like if somebody in the Facebook group says, hey, I want to get into house flipping. I don't know where to start. Would love to connect. He's the first one to comment every single time. He is so willing and wanting to help, give info, partner, JV, whatever it is. He just wants to help network grow and help other people grow too, which I think is really niche about Charleston too, is like the community here like wants to help each other, whether you're in business where like you're technically competing, everybody wants to help each other. So I commented one day or wrote a post in the group. I'm like, hey, want to get into multifamily, like would love to like talk to people about the space, blah, blah, blah. He comments, boom. First thing, he's like, hey, let's grab lunch. Would love to talk about what you want to do. I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
what a G.
Right. Like, I'm like, he doesn't know me. I have no, I know I have no experience. He might not know that I have no experience, but I've never bought real estate, know nothing about real estate, have no idea how to run anything. And he was just so willing to meet me for lunch. So we met him actually at Heavy's, great spot downtown for a burger. Met him at Heavy's. We talked. He kind of learned about me. I learned about him. And then we kind of parted ways, just kept in touch. He was like, whenever you're ready to make the next step, let me know. I'd be happy to partner, whatever you want to do. Again, crazy. Like, I have no experience, but he's just like willing to partner with somebody who clearly has a drive or want to get into the real estate and investing space.
How old are you at this time?
Still like 26.
Okay.
So I'm 27 now.
Okay, sweet. So pretty recently.
Yes. Oh yeah. This was in December, about a year ago.
Okay. Sick.
Yeah. So met with him then. Nothing really came of it. Cause again, with real estate, I think now that I'm really in the space now, I think the hardest thing to do is to find deals.
Right.
Like by the time a deal hits the MLS, Zillow, LoopNet, whatever space of real estate you're in, commercial, residential, by the time it hits there, you know, they're looking for end buyers. It's already been flipped or developed. So people have already made their money and now they're trying to make their money. And if you buy it, they're making money off you. So the amount of margin that's there for an end buyer on these like public for like listing sites is a lot smaller. So like the hardest thing to do is to find deals. And then with multifamily here, I don't think it's that controversial, but in Charleston specifically, I think any sort of short-term rental, long-term rental, multifamily, whatever it is, there's really no cash flow. And everybody preaches short-term rental. You buy a house, you put tenants in, they'll pay your mortgage and you'll make $1,000 a month. And you do 10 of those and you'll make $10,000 a month with doing nothing, right? That's what everybody preaches.
Yeah.
It
doesn't exist in Charleston.
It doesn't exist in Charleston, and it barely exists in general because you have to think you have property tax, insurance, maintenance, repairs, you're dealing with tenants, you're dealing with vacancies. Add 2 or 3 of those things a month and your $1,000 profit is zero.
Yeah.
And then you're just getting your mortgage covered. Or if you have 6 of those things that you have to deal with, then now you're coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
So then a lot of people here actually say, if you want to get into short-term, long-term rental, if you break even, amazing.
Yeah.
If you come out of pocket $500 a month, okay. If you can float that, sure.
Yeah.
If you make money, like, I mean, let's go. Like, that's awesome. But the real way people make money here off real estate in general, but then short-term, long-term rental is off appreciation. Charleston market is cash flow low, appreciation heavy. Like, you know, real estate here grows so fast. Like
supply and demand.
Yep. Downtown, Tri-County, everywhere, like year over year, real estate is just going to grow. Like I have a friend in St. Louis who does multifamily and he says the opposite. He says for him, appreciation is low, cash flow is high. So like he can buy it multifamily for $500,000. He'll cash flow, let's say, I'm just throwing out numbers here, like $5,000 a month. But then when he goes to sell that piece of real estate in 5 years, it'll be worth 550 grand, 600 grand.
Yeah.
So you're not making any money off the real estate. You're making money off your cash flow that you make every year. So back to my story now. So was going back and forth with him, saw that he was doing a lot of house flipping, which is super popular here. So like fix and flips. So you buy a house at a discount, you renovate it, you list it, and you make a profit. So that's kind of how that works. So saw that he was doing that a lot here, and was like, oh, that seems kind of fun. Like I'm a Capricorn. I love like just like getting shit done. And like, I love seeing something from nothing to a finished product. Like I like that life cycle. Like I'm not somebody that wants to just like build and build and build. And then like, kind of like, I'm like, no, like I want to start something and finish something, start something and finish something. Like I want to build this back panel wall. Like that'd be so rewarding. Like blank wall, screw it up, and then seeing this like set would be like so rewarding. So I'm that type of guy. So I saw he was doing fix and flips. I'm like, oh, that seems pretty cool. So I start hopping on Zillow. Again, every day, take a step in what you want to do. So hop on Zillow, start to look for deals. There's a formula when you're looking to flip a house. So basically the formula is you take ARV times 0.75, minus out your renovation cost, and that gives you your ARV, which is your MAO, your max allowable offer. So ARV is your after renovation value. Subtract out 0.75.
What's the 0.75 for?
So that will account for like interest, loan, hard money loans, all that type of stuff, like kind of like fixed costs. And then you subtract out your reno cost, which will give you your max allowable offer. So I would hop on Zillow, try to look up deals, would put that in. I'd take what they're asking. I'd kind of see in pictures how much the renovation would cost, do the formula, be like, none of these are working. Like these numbers that they're asking are too high. As I was saying, like on Zillow, you're at end buyers. People have already flipped them. Wholesalers have already gotten their hands on them and have posted them there to make a quick rip. So I just couldn't quite find deals. So I went back to Hayden. I'm like, hey man, like I want to get into house flipping. Like, tell me about it. So we meet again. So great, like willing to just share info. So meet him again. And we talk about it. And he's like, hey, if you find a deal, bring me the deal. I'll fund the deal. And then you and me will flip it together. I'm like,
damn, that's sick.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like somebody just so willing and wanting to help other people is just, I mean, it's mind blowing. So again, went back to my computer every day, still have no job. I'm like, can I find something? I'm like, these numbers aren't working. They aren't working. So I go back to him. I'm like, hey man, like you are posting on social media. You're flipping houses like every single day, every month. You have this project in Somerville, Goose Creek, Monk's Corner, downtown, James Island. Like he's everywhere. I'm like, you must be so busy running the flips, finding the deals, funding the deals, dealing with just business in general. How about I come and run your projects for you and me be your project manager? He was like, sure, let's do it.
That's sick.
I'm like, again, like no prior experience, just like true persistence, just like willing and wanting to work and find value for him where I can help him. So he was like, well, let's do it. So we started small. I would kind of help him on punching out projects. So punch out is basically when you finish a flip. For instance, like this back wall, right? I would come in with blue tape. I'd be like, okay, that nail hole needs to get filled. That paint isn't right. So I'd put blue tapes and your contractor comes back and fixes it. So we started there. So I kind of learned the process. And then just through that, have been running all of his flips, developments, new builds for about 7-8 months now. And then through him, I've started to work with a couple other local developers and investors. It's just been kind of a wild journey through kind of creating this niche business here of like project management for real estate investors, because you know, if you don't have a project manager, you're either just relying on your contractor or GC to do stuff the right way, which typically never happens, or
Yeah.
it does never happen. Or you're managing the projects yourself while also finding the deals, funding the deals, having a wife, having a kids, like all this stuff. And then, so I've kind of found this like cool little niche where I could provide massive amounts of value to Hayden and giving him so much more time back in his day, where when I started with him, he probably had about 10 flips. And now I'm running close to 25 flips for him. So I've like more than 2x the amount of business that he can do because I've put so much more time back into his day. And then now I'm running these projects for him. So for most of our projects now, he doesn't step foot on the flip once. I'll go out and walk it the first time. I'll go meet the contractors. I'll run the project for 30, 60, 90 days. And then at the end of the project, I'll be like, hey, do you want to come see it? He's like, sure. And the house will be done.
Wow.
So he literally does nothing. He barely lifts a finger. Obviously, we go back and forth. I'll be like, hey, man, like, you know, I'll get certain things approved if it's outside of the budget. Like, hey, you know, we didn't account for doing a new gravel driveway. It's going to be an additional $8,000. Is that cool? Yep, approved. Little stuff like that. But for the most part, like I'm working with the contractors, telling them what to do, picking paint colors, tiles, floors, you know, landscaping, all that stuff. I do all that from top to bottom. And that was kind of my goal with the project management, is kind of like have like a full turnkey project management where investors don't have to even show up to the job site, and they can be like, hey, I just closed on this deal at 123 Wallaby Way. Bought it for 130. We have 70 grand of rent out and I want to sell it for 500. Can you get that done? And I'll go meet contractors out there, get a couple bids, be like, hey, we can do it for 75. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Or, oh, we can save some money by doing X, Y, Z. We can get it done for 60, even better. And then, yeah, you know, just run the whole project and then hand them a delivered like product at the end.
That's a sick model.
Yeah.
What have been the biggest things that you've learned, like building this business out on the, you know, not just like business mechanics, but specific to home renovations? Because I think a lot of people are interested in like, you know, flipping houses and getting into real estate.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, I would say, is like scheduling and like cadencing out things in the right way. And then also having overly clear, I guess you call them, expectations of your contractors. So,
It's like defining that scope really well.
yes. Like if you say, okay, like again, for example, in this room, if you said, okay, like paint the walls, right? They wouldn't patch up any of those holes. They wouldn't prime it. They wouldn't tape things off. Like you have to say, hey, patch all the holes, tape off the windows. I want matte paint on the walls. I want gloss on the door trim. Unless you tell them exactly what to do, they're just going to like do paint. And you know, I mean, you can't get mad at them. I mean, you're telling them what to do and they're doing it. And then a lot of our contractors are typically either like they speak Portuguese, they'll speak Spanish. So having like a clear way of communication is very important. So I found that the best way to communicate with a lot of these contractors are through text. Like if you call them, it's just so broken back and forth.
Yeah.
Like you try to say things simply for them, they try to understand and say things back, but then they're filling in words, like bigger words with their language. And then,
Right.
So I found that through text.
Just lost in translation.
Oh yeah. So text, they can plug it into Google Translate. Your text, they can text back and then they can send it back in English. So having a clear way of communication, and then back to clear expectations is for like kitchens, we sometimes will work on our nicer projects with I guess you could call it like a interior designer, like rendering guy, who will send him out our list of cabinets and the layout, and he'll make a 3D render with measurements, spacing, everything. I don't know if you'll clip this up. I can send you guys like a picture if you want to put some clips in, but
Yeah, we do it.
it's pretty cool. So so then we will tape that in the kitchen when they're putting in the cabinet, so they can directly reference what cabinet goes here. If there's a filler here, a 24-inch space for a dishwasher, a 30-inch base drawer cabinet, you have your 33-inch sink, all that type of stuff is all laid out with the measurements, because otherwise, if you just send $5,000, $10,000 worth of cabinets to the house, I mean, they'll put it together how they think it should go, but like they could put the sink on the upper, like they'll just make it fit how they think it should go, but then they'll miss like the filler. Sometimes they'll put like a fridge against the wall, and if you put the fridge against the wall, you can't open the fridge door because there's not enough swing. Because like if the fridge is 36 inches, you need another like 5 inches to have the door hinge swing out. So you always have to put a filler on the end next to a fridge if it's on the corner of a wall. So we had a couple times where we weren't very clear, and they'll put a fridge up against the corner of a wall, and then you can't open the fridge.
You'd think they would know if they're doing this all the time, but
nope.
no.
They just don't. So yeah, it's just like really clear expectations, and then just like scheduling things. So like before we close on a deal, I will meet contractors out there. So when, let's say we close on Friday, I'll meet them out there the previous week. So then Monday we can start. Because if you're flipping homes, you typically will either use private money or hard money, unless you're paying cash or your own money. So hard money are short loans, whether it's 4 months, 6 months, sometimes 8 months, but they're very short loans with higher interest rates. So you're typically paying between, 10 and 13% with a couple points. And you're paying that every single month. And then if you have private money, obviously there's a little bit more flex there. So you can tell your private money, okay, let me have 500 grand at 10%. And, you can either pay them monthly, you can pay them with a big balloon payment on interest at the end, which is the best.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to pay monthly interest. You can just pay them a big balloon payment at the end. So if you work for 4 months, you can pay them the balloon of the interest at the end of the project, but it just depends on relationship with private money. So time is very important. So scheduling, and then what we do now is we sign contracts with all of our contractors where we say, what's the timeline? And they'll say, okay, we can get this done in 4 weeks. I'll be like, oh, sweet. That's quick. So I'll be like, okay, I'll give you 5 weeks. So give them an extra week. And I'll say, for every day you deliver the product and the flipped home. So I call it our product. Every day you give us our product earlier than 5 weeks, we'll give you an additional $100 a day. So it gives them a motivation to get it done quicker because they can make more money. But every day you go over 5 weeks, we will reduce our agreed upon amount by $100. So it kind of puts fire under their ass on both sides, is like, hey, we need to meet this deadline or else we're going to lose $100 every single day.
That's a great agreement.
But if we get it done earlier, we're happy to give them more money because, let's say they get it done a week early and we can avoid paying an extra month of interest. It could save us $5,000 for only $500 or whatever it is. So setting clear expectations, timelines is really important. Making sure you work with good contractors who do good work. A lot of people in the space will say cheap work isn't good work and good work isn't cheap work. So kind of finding a middle ground. It also depends on the product that you're making. So we do a lot of mobile homes. So we do a lot of mobile homes up in Somerville, Monk's Corner, Goose Creek, stuff like that. So for those, we know that we always want to put out a good product, but we don't need to use the same contractors that we were going to use on a flip in Mount Pleasant, right?
Yeah.
Like the finish work doesn't align there. So we have different contractors for each type of product that we're creating. And then just making sure expectations are clear. I always give our contractors a full scope. I also give them a finish selection sheet. So I pick the paint color with the paint code, exterior paint color, I pick the tile. I pick the lights, the floors specifically with links. Because otherwise, again, they'll just go and pick what they think. Like if you're like, oh, I just want like LVP floor, they'll go and buy gray floor. And gray floor today with LVP is the most outdated look that you can do. So
What's the methodology with that, like picking finishes and colors? Is there something that helps you sell houses faster? Is it probably like simple, just like broad colors, I would assume?
great.
Blacks and whites.
Yeah, no, great question. So again, it goes back to price point. It's mobile homes. I love mobile homes. They're like, it's funny. Like I was just in Texas visiting my fiance's family, and we would like pass like these massive mobile home dealerships, and I'd be like breaking my neck, like looking. Like I just love them now. Like they're just like so interesting. Like I get so excited. I'm like, oh, mobile home, mobile home. I'm like, I don't know. I just love them. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, why does this kid love mobile? I mean, dude, they're cool. Like
Kid really likes mobile.
yeah, no, but think about it in this sense. It's like it's like the most affordable housing there is today.
Yeah.
Like there truly
They're
is.
pretty nice, honestly. Like we see them in Florida and stuff, and they're like,
They are, when we're done, they are just as nice as a brick ranch in West Ashley.
yeah,
They are just as nice, if not nicer.
yeah.
Like they are, and even we just placed a brand new 2025 mobile home like off the lot in Monk's Corner, and it is nice. Like there is Samsung stainless steel appliances. There is double vanity in the master bedroom, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, sliding glass doors, everything. Like,
What makes it a mobile home? It's like you don't put it on. You can't put it on a trailer. Is it like?
oh yeah, it gets pulled in on wheels.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
Is it like on a big flatbed, or like the thing literally like can move?
The thing, so it's we typically place double wides, which is there. It's basically there's 2 halves. So there's like the roof line, and then there's left half, right half.
Gotcha.
So before you bring it on, they're separate. So you drag on each half, and the under the mobile home, there's literally axles with wheels attached to the home, and there's a big tongue in the front, which is what connects to like a big truck,
Mm-hmm.
and they literally drive it onto your piece of land. They'll set it on these like cement piers, and then they'll take it off of the wheels, and then they'll remove the tongue. But yeah, mobile homes have VINs.
Can it
Yep.
It can be moved
Yep.
again?
Yep.
They have VINs.
Yep. Like a car. It has a title at the DMV.
Does it have different, is that like a tax advantage? Is that why it's done, or like permitting advantage, or?
I think it's just because it's like a moving vessel on the road. I think it has to have a VIN, and I think it's the
No, but would someone go with a mobile home, like as opposed to just building a regular home, because there's some advantage to that? Does it get like
it's just
classified
cheaper.
differently?
It's just cheaper. I think it's all around cheaper. Probably property tax cheaper. Cost of home is cheaper. Like we can place without land cost, which is important. We can place a 2025 mobile home. It's called like a Clayton Morocco, which is like one of the highest end ones that you can buy, for about 150 grand.
That's retail, what they're buying it for?
Yeah, so we work with people that have their dealer's licenses, so we get them at a little bit of a better cost than if you were to actually go to like the Clayton Home dealership in Monk's Corner or wherever it is. But typically, yeah, like 150 to 170, we can place a mobile home, and that's HVAC, hardy panel skirting, decks, install,
Wow.
hook up to utilities. And then we typically will sell a mobile home for 280 to 300.
Damn.
And that goes back to the whole affordable, like you can't buy a brand new home, which it is, for under 300 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, even the brand new big builder homes like Lennar or DR Horton or all those like cookie cutter homes up in Somerville, I mean, you're still going to be spending 400 grand, 450 grand. Obviously you have like a stick built home, but typically you're on, I don't know, 0.1 acres, like these little tiny lots, and you have a neighbor right over your fence, and like they are jam-packed in there. Typically, we'll place mobile homes on half acre to full acres. So you have a bunch of land, you have a home, brand new home. You can get conventional lending, and it's a really cool product. But back to your question about finishes is for mobile homes, we typically like to do really light gray walls because in nicer homes, we like to do like those like creamy whites. So like Sherwin-Williams has like a bunch of colors like alabaster, Greek villa, all these like really nice, creamy, soft whites. But if you think about it, if you walk into a mobile home, you might see a creamy white wall. You'd be like, were they smoking in here? Like it kind of has a little bit of that look of like not as like crispy. So we like to do like really light, almost white, but with like a slight hint of gray, like a really light gray wall. And then on those, we go very basic. We do white cabinets, black hardware, same with the bathrooms, simple vanities, simple mirrors, black hardware everywhere, white tile. That's very basic because you have to think about your buyer. Like they want to walk in and they want to see things clean, crispy. Whereas we're doing this really high-end renovation. Can you see them?
It's fun.
Okay. We're doing this really high-end renovation in James Island. That's about to hit the market next week. And in that one, we did exterior paint. We did in this really cool color called iron ore. So it's like this basically black exterior with stained wood gable and porch pillars in the front. And then inside we did Greek villa walls. And then the bathrooms are my favorite part. I mean, I designed them, but we did this like awesome blue tile in the bathroom with like this like white niche with this like dark wood vanity with this like curved gold mirror. Like all these finishes are like just based on your buyer. Like
it has a big impact on like perception of space too, right?
Totally. And actually today, it's funny, I saw Post and Courier, I think posted a article. I don't know if it was from today, but I saw it pop up on Facebook, was like the surge in Charleston of white painted brick and how that's like the hottest thing. Like every new house, or you buy a house, you paint the brick white. Like nobody wants white color or brick, just brick colored brick.
Yeah.
They want white or what? Yeah. Brick colored brick. But people don't, but so that's why with this house we're doing on James Island, we're like, okay, if a buyer, right, is looking at a bunch of these renovated homes, right, and you're looking in West Ashley and James Island because it's kind of the same zone. Let's say you're looking at 5 homes, all 5 are renovated. 4 of them are more than likely going to be white brick, okay? Because if they're renovated, high percentage chance that they're painted white, inside has white cabinets, light oak floors. Like there's just like a textbook, right? So that's why we said for our James Island, we're going to have an outlier, right? So if you're looking at 5 homes and our home is painted black on the outside, inside you have oak colored cabinets, or we did oak on the bottom, white on top. We did a little bit of a higher end quartz countertop with like this like brown veining. We did blue tile in the master bathroom. We did this super cool black and white checkerboard tile in the hall bathroom. We did this green Kit Kat style in the laundry hall bathroom that like kind of bled out of the shower and wrapped around the base of the walls all the way around. So when you walk into our home, there's a bunch of these things that will stand out. Black home, blue tile the master, checkerboard in the bathroom, green Kit Kat in the laundry. Like all these little things like will set your house apart from white brick, white oak floors, white cabinets, like oat colored tile in the bathrooms. Like that's what everybody is doing. So if we can set ourselves apart, and then, you know, if you're one of those 4 houses that are all the same, the only thing that's going to differentiate you guys is your price. Like if they're looking at 4 houses and one is 700 grand, 710 and 695, and they're all white, they'll probably go with the 695.
Right.
Because if they're all the same, if you say all the neighborhoods are the same, don't have any outliers there, they will pick the house that's the cheapest, or
That makes sense.
or they'll offer the other ones, you know. So for us, we're like, okay, so for our house, maybe we'll price ours actually a little bit more aggressively. Be like, if everybody else is pricing at 700, let's price ours at 725. But yes, it's an extra 25 grand. But if you're looking at all others for 700 and they're all the same, and you're like, okay, for 25 grand, I can get a house that is just like beautiful, sexy. Nobody else is going to have it. Like, you might spend an extra 25 grand to get something that's a little bit different. So,
That's like very psychologically advanced.
yeah,
Smart way to go about it.
yeah. And that's kind of the market now. Is we're kind of past the market where people don't want to buy homes that need work done. That's something else that we've seen, is the whole lipstick on a pig no longer works. You can't just go into a home and paint the walls and leave old bathrooms and kitchens and just think that people will buy it. No, people want to move in. People don't have a ton of extra cash because they're all going to buy the house and have a crazy interest rate at 7%, whatever it is. And they're going to be like, oh, we can't spend, now an extra 50, 60 grand to renovate everything. Unless you're pricing it at such a steep discount that either you're going to sell to another investor who can do that work, or at such a steep discount that somebody's like, okay, I can buy this house for 200 grand and then I can put 50 into it. And now my house can be worth 325 and I can have 75 grand of positive equity. You can refi, take your cash out, whatever you want to do.
It's like burring it. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yep. Which is super popular too. So yeah, we've just seen that you need to produce a product that kind of sets yourself apart from the competition, because a lot of people are doing the fix and flip stuff. It's not a one-man show doing it here. It's a lot of people are doing it. You need to set yourself apart. You need to do a little bit of special touches. You need to price it accordingly. And then yeah, just produce a product that you're proud of. Like if I produce a product that was just, cookie cutter, white brick, light floor, I would just be like, yeah, like it's cool, but like I was telling, so on the one in James Island, I'm working with Hayden and another investor that I work with there. And I said, hey, like I want to host a REI meeting or invite a bunch of other investors to this house when we're done. Like I want to show this off. Like I'm proud of what we did here. So I'm going to work with Hayden and the other investor to put together like an REI event at that house to show them the cool bathrooms, the exterior, talk about the windows and kind of what we did. And it goes back to networking, right? Have people come, check it out. Maybe another investor will be like, oh, cool, you guys did this. And how long did it take you? Oh, it took you guys only 90 days. It's taking me 180 days to do mine. How are you guys doing it in half the time? Like you build a connection, then maybe they'll JV with Hayden, and then that will give me another job to project manage. So it's just really just networking. I think is just so important. It's kind of put me in the position I'm in today. Yeah.
If you had to move into a new market, and you didn't have any of these guys anymore and you went by yourself, how would you go start to finish, like sourcing a deal and making that deal happen, and assuming no capital?
Okay, so if I wasn't going to do project management, I actually wanted to buy the house and flip it.
Yeah. Or maybe not. Maybe just if you wanted to go into a new market and make money off of real estate and you have no capital, what would be your methodology?
I would network. Whatever market I'm going into, let's say I'm going up to Charlotte, North Carolina, wherever it is. Mm-hmm. Join Facebook groups, connect, network. I assume they have REI meetings. Go there.
REI, what does that mean?
Real estate investor.
Okay.
So like there's a group here called REI Central, which hosts a meeting on the first Thursday of every month is the big meeting. I'd say 50 plus investors show up there. The first 30 to hours, just networking, shaking hands. And then there's typically like an hour of like somebody speaking, talking about something in the real estate world. And at the end, another 30 minutes to an hour of just networking. So I would join real estate investing groups, and then I would JV, which means joint venture. So just partner. So basically tell that investor, you have to provide them value, right? You have to say, okay, if I find the deal, whether you go on MLS, Zillow, reach out to wholesalers. So wholesalers, what they'll do, is they cold call, right? If you own a house and they find you on their software, they say, okay, Jack, I see that you're behind on your payments. Like, do you need some help? Like, are you trying to like get out of your house soon? You're like, yeah, but like the thought of listing my house, having to fix it up and go through a realtor, like I don't have the money to do that, but I need to get out of my house now. The wholesaler would be like, cool. Like, so it looks like your house is probably worth about 250 grand fixed up and renovated. It's going to probably cost me 50, 60 grand to fix it up. I could probably offer you about 80 grand for your house. That's cash. but you're like, shit, like I need the cash now. I'm going to get foreclosed on. Like I need to get out of my house. And you're like, okay, I'll take it. So and these numbers are just,
yeah. Like 250.
No, but it's crazy. It's crazy. You'd be surprised.
Like $60 for it.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what people take for their homes. They need cash. And the way that Hayden's company is an acquisitions company here in Charleston, and they're not greedy, bad people. Like they're not trying to steal a house from an old woman who doesn't know what she has. They do a lot of inbound marketing. So it's basically they have a form on their website where if you need to sell your house, you fill out be like your first name, your last name, your address, why you need to sell it, and then you click submit, and then within 30 seconds, his acquisitions guys will call you and be like, "Hey, just got your form. What's going on? How can we help you?"
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if they're selling it for that amount, that's the market price.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to think a wholesaler is going to have to buy it under market because,
of course,
yeah, well, because they have to make money. Hey, buddy, and this is the face of my company, right, buddy?
He's the enforcer.
Couche.
If you don't pay your bills,
couche.
He's coming for you.
Couche down. There we go.
Good boy.
So yeah, so with wholesaling, they're buying it at, call it 50 to 60 cents on the dollar. They need to make money. So a wholesaler has one of two things that they can do. They can wholesale it. So they can wholesale it to another investor. So let's say they buy for 100 grand. They'll sell it to you for 120 grand. So they'll make a 20K, it's called an assignment fee. And then you as the investor can then flip it, and then you can make money on the renovation. So that's one thing, is you can connect with wholesalers, be like, hey, I need a deal in Charlotte. What do you have? Obviously you should know how to run the numbers, know the formulas, know the market, all that type of stuff. So you can find a wholesaler who will assign you a deal. So they'll buy for 100, they'll sell it to you for 120. Cool. Let them make their 20 grand. Now you bought it for 120, put 60 into it, and then you go and sell it for 300 grand, whatever it is. But then you bring that deal to that investor who has access to capital and say, hey, I found this deal from a wholesaler they're going to assign it to me for 120 grand. I ran the numbers here. The numbers, more than likely an investor will know how to underwrite a deal. So they'll be like, oh, nice deal. Like these numbers work. Like, let's do it. So then that investor will then go and fund the deal. And then he'll say, okay, like you go and run the flip now. So
will you lock that up before you bring it to the investor?
I probably wouldn't.
Just you have good relationships with them already. So
yeah.
I would,
yeah, I bring it to the investor and basically be like, hey, like, how does this deal look before you sign any contracts? Just like make sure it looks good. I mean, you can always terminate contracts. I mean, sometimes it costs you $500, $1,000, but you're better off losing $500 than losing 30 grand if you underwrote the deal wrong, right? So, so yeah, that's what I would do, is either find a wholesaler or find a deal on the MLS, JV with a local investor who has access to that capital, and then offer them the value of saying, hey, I'll run this project. Do you have contractors, or should I go and find some? And you can find contractors through Facebook, Instagram, Google, network, ask other investors, be like, hey, who do you use for your renovations? Would you be willing to share? Yep, sure. Contact, blah, blah, blah. And then for me, a big thing I think in real estate that I don't think enough people do is building a brand on social media. I've started to build a brand for my project management stuff. And it's not only helped me. I mean, I've had other local real estate investors reach out to me to work with them. I've also had contractors reach out to me and be like, hey, I do painting. Can I paint for you? I do drywall work. Can I do your drywall work? So we keep a list of preferred vendors. And every time a contractor messages me, I'll be like, hey, give me your W-9, give me your insurance. So I have that on file. Right. Okay. So this guy does painting. This is his phone number. This is his email. Do I have his documents? Yes. So if we do a project and I'm like, oh, like we only need drywall here, go to my vendor list. Oh, this guy messaged me on Instagram. I'll go to his Instagram. Again, building a brand. Oh, his work looks good. His mudding work looks good. His sanding looks great. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, can you come and quote this job? If it works out, boom. So I think just building a brand on social media is so, so, so important. And again, for me, I have 250 followers. Like, I don't care to have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1,000,000 followers. Cause like, I want people that follow me to like actually be interacting with me and in my world, right? Like I want contractors who work in Charleston. I want investors who invest in Charleston. I want people that can help me and my business and my investors that I work with help their businesses. Like I actually, through social media, through networking these REI events, I connected Hayden with another investor, and now I connected them to do a new build deal together in North Charleston. So like through networking from me going to an event, this other investor said, hey, I have this new build. Do you know any investors that like have funding, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, of course I do. Go to Hayden, say, hey man, have this deal, new build. He's another investor. He has too many projects that he needs somebody else to fund it. Would you be down? Let's go take a look. Boom. And they just signed their JV contract last week. And now I'm getting quotes to demo the existing house. The investor has relationships with builders. So we're going to get the architect's plans done, the build plans done, and we'll probably start construction, I want to say the next like 6-8 weeks from permitting. We have to demo the house, get a demo permit, and all that type of stuff. So that ought to be my first new build that I'm kind of a part of. I've done a lot of land development stuff, which I love. I work with another investor. His name is Cole Salazzo with Southern Acres Land and Homes. He basically buys land and will either flip the land, so he'll buy it wholesale, assign it, and sell it to somebody else, or he will subdivide, so do like minor subdivides, which basically means you take, let's say, just for easy, take an acre of land that's a rectangle. If the zoning in that county permits it, take that acre, split it directly in half, make 2 half-acre lots. Usually there's a house on the front, so you have a house and now a half acre in the front, flip that, and then we just did this in Monk's Corner, buy a brand new mobile home, pull it onto that back lot. So basically what that front lot did is we bought that, renovated, flipped it, and sold it. So that basically gave us the back half acre for free. So land cost $0. We broke even on the front house, but we got land for free. So we made all of our money on that new mobile home that we're going to sell, or that actually is under contract now in the back.
That's sick.
So he does that. We did
it just perpetuates itself through the property.
Yep. So we did a really big project up in Somerville, off of Jedburgh Road. You've probably never been up there. Yeah, it's pretty deep, up off of 26 in Somerville. It was 18 acres. There was one existing house on the piece of land, subdivided it into 6 lots. One of the lots has a house on it. Each lot is about 2.5 acres. The first lot is about 4.5 acres. So we, on that project, was a full neighborhood development. So we built brick mailboxes at the front of the road, beautiful brick mailboxes with the name of the neighborhood on the bottom. We completely redid the road, the dirt road, all the way down. We cut in a brand new road for the neighborhood, which never existed. We put in brick pillars, automatic metal gate, palmetto trees, monument with the name of the neighborhood there, beautiful road all the way in. We cut a new driveway into the existing house. And that one, again, will be they bought the house, renovated the house, and then basically the house will cover, I'd say probably close to 90% of the entire project. So that means they basically got like 15 acres of land for close to free. And those are going to be sold as more estate style lots. So 2 of the lots are actually under contract now. There's 2 more lots still on the market, and then the existing house is still on the market. We actually have a showing today, so hopefully that gets locked up too. So yeah, it's been fun. The fix and flip stuff is fun. High end mobile homes, fun. Minor subdivides, full neighborhood developments. It's just a ton of fun. It goes back to, dude, like I just love to be in my truck, can take my dog, go to these projects, check in. It's just really like a dream come true. Like it's crazy.
It sounds like you got some good creative freedom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially now. Definitely for the first couple months, it was like a lot of like, like let me choose this, let me choose that. But now it's kind of like, hey, closed on this. Do your job. Like go manage it, find the contractors and finish the project, and let's list it and sell it.
That's sick.
So now, yeah, it's pretty much full cycle, start to end, besides finding the deal, which you kind of touched on. After the deal is found and it's locked up and closed, that's when I take over. And then we work with another local realtor on all of our projects, Peter Cooten, who's amazing. He lists all of our projects for us. I also help him with a bunch of his flips that he does too. So yeah, just about you know, like the relationships. If you're moving volume and properties, like, I mean, since I've started, I mean, probably close to 30 projects that I've worked on, probably 8 to 10 are finished or closed. Another 10 are in progress. And then another 5 to 10 are like in the pipeline, like just waiting for closings, probate, title work, you know, all that stuff I don't deal with. That's all kind of prior to where I take over. So for me too, it's, you know, just building my pipeline too. And in the last 8 months, I've gone from working on 3 or 4 projects to now managing 20 to 25 projects.
Wow. It's unbelievable.
Typically after 15 active projects, I get a little bit overwhelmed. But typically my sweet spot is about 10 to 15. I feel good.
What's your game plan to scale that up to, or do you want to keep it just to yourself and you like to have that control?
No, so the plan is, I'll probably be hiring another project manager, to work alongside me, who I can, kind of offload a bunch of tasks that are important, but take away from time that I should be spending elsewhere. It goes back to, right? Like when you're building a business and owning a business, like you have set amount of time in a day, and there's certain tasks that need to get done, but don't help you build your business and grow, but they need to get done. So finding somebody that I can offload a bunch of those tasks to would be number one.
Do you think that'll be hard for you? I can tell you're very diligent.
Yeah, it will be. And
the employee's never going to be as diligent as you are,
which is okay. And that's something that I'll become okay with, but getting to a place where I can like trust people.
Yeah.
But I think somebody said, like, you can never expect somebody to do 100% of what you can do, but if they can do at least 80%, they should be like, that work that they're doing for 80% should cover what they need to do. And then you can always train them and work on them to get closer, but like to ever have an expectation that somebody will be as good as you'll always get let down.
Yeah.
So number one will be to scale is to hire somebody to offload a bunch of tasks to that don't help me build the business, and also don't help my investors finish their projects or grow. Gru is attacking Sam behind the camera.
That's hilarious.
He loves to put his arms on the shoulders and then just lick the face.
Yeah, he's a lover boy for sure. Oh, things are getting spicy behind the camera right now.
Yeah, those sounds are crazy. At night, dude, we try to sleep with him in the bed, but usually by 11 or 12 o'clock, we put him in the crate every night because his snores shake the house.
No way.
Brie, come.
That's hilarious.
Couche. No. Down.
You're coming for me
Brie,
now.
down.
Coming for me. I see what you're trying to do. Oh, I see what you're trying.
Oh, he sees you talking to him.
I see what you're trying to do. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hello.
I can get Brie off. Off. Brie,
Lord.
couche. Down.
Good pop.
Um,
But yeah, man, it's super exciting. It's impressive, and like I said, it's very apparent how diligent you are. So, I'm sure you're gonna be massively successful. It's sick.
yeah. Thank you.
Sick
Yeah.
industry too.
No, it's been a lot of fun. And I always knew I wanted to get into real estate. Didn't know how I was going to get there. Never in a million years thought I'd be managing projects for investors, but I absolutely love what I do, and I think that's so important. Is like for 4 years, I basically woke up like every day, like not loving what I was doing, like truly. And I think it's just like important. Like you'll never be satisfied in life unless you truly do what you love to do. And I found that through forcing myself to be uncomfortable, and kind of telling myself the only option is to find what you want to do. And then another note about that is like I said to my fiance Emily, I'm like, I'm not just gonna go get a job to like make money. Like I'm not just gonna get a job because I need to get a job. Like I said, this next job I do, like I'm gonna love, and it's gonna be what I want to do. I'm like, I'm not just gonna. I'm like, I will make us live in my truck before I go get another bullshit job that like I truly don't love to do every day. I'm 27. Like I want to start to like really build our future and not just waste, another 2 years on another job that I hate, and then having to move to a new company and start again and then hate that job and go like, I don't want to be stuck in this cyclical cycle of like working for the man in the rat race of like the corporate world, kind of what you make 3% or 5% more every year.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Like you'll never become wealthy. You'll never grow truly by being stuck in that cycle unless you work at the same job or job hop until you become like a senior VP or a CEO or a president. Like you're gonna be stuck in this cyclical 3 to 5% raise every single year. Like in 8 months of my own company, I'm making way more than I was the last 4 years doing marketing, which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought that in such a short amount of time I'd be doing the numbers that I am now. As you mentioned, like to scale and grow, hire somebody, and then just finding more local investors that are seeing that their time is becoming zero and they need to start to delegate certain tasks to other people for them to grow and scale their business. Because if you're doing everything on your own, you can maybe manage 2, 3, 4 on your own. And then at that point, you have no time to do anything else. So at a certain point as an investor, you have to think like, am I really going to spend every night in bed closing deals, picking tile, buying fans from Amazon? Then the next day I have to drive to these job sites, talk with contractors, try to find deals, because the only way you're going to make money is if you find deals. Like you need to start to delegate the cycle of flipping, developing, building, whatever it is to other people before you need it. It's like, I actually was at Hayden's again, real estate event that he put on, I want to say 2 weekends ago at the Grand Bohemian here downtown. It was a 2-day awesome event. And I was talking to this real estate investor, this woman here, and she said that she just hired a project manager, and she said she waited far too long. And she said it honestly hurt her business because she didn't hire a project manager, because things were slipping through the cracks. She wasn't able to schedule, check up on, have clear expectations with contractors. So the quality of her product went down, couldn't take on more projects because she didn't have enough time in the day. So a lot of people say you need to delegate before you need. So I'm getting to that point, right, where I'm seeing, okay, I'm starting to get filled up. I don't want to overwhelm myself where I'm now slacking on the investors that I'm working with and not completing tasks, and our products are going down because I didn't become apparent enough that I need to delegate before I need. So,
and then you don't even have the time to find someone to replace
or train them, or you have too much going on that, like, trying to explain to them the processes or the scheduling or how things work is just so big and discombobulated that you can't even explain it to somebody else. So yeah, just working with new investors is on my list going into this next year, hiring some more project managers. And then I also want to start using some new softwares or products to help me stay more organized. So like a project management software, builder software, whatever it is that can help me track expenses, vendors, estimates, all that type of stuff. Like, I'm not like a GC. Like, I'm not like estimating like myself projects, but like if I get an estimate from a contractor, then I can put it in, I can track, okay, so this guy Bob quoted $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $10,000 for this project, and he did it. Then for this next project is a similar square footage, similar house, but then now he's quoting $10,000, $10,000, $10,000, and $20,000. So then I can now go and easily see, okay, why is his pricing increasing on these, going down here, for me to be more organized, make sure my investors are staying on budget, on track, and on time is kind of what I want to do.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
That's great. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I like to see how, like, it's, we get obviously a ton of entrepreneurs on this show, and you get to see how everyone's brain works differently. But I can see you have a very organized thought path, and and you're visualizing ahead of time, like kind of how everything's playing out. And I'm sure it happens pretty similar to how you picture it. But, like you said, you're amazed by how quickly you not only met that same income that you were making before at a job, but have increased, that income. And it really just comes down to having the confidence to, think that you can do it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's sick having you on.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you coming out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's a wrap.